Flakes every morning because my bold goal is to cut down on sugar.
I eat a bowl of Grainberry Cinnamon Frosted Shredded Wheat every morning because my bold goal is to pack as much flavor into my breakfast as possible.
I eat a bowl of Grainberry Honey Nut Toasted Oats every morning because my bold goal is to start each day with tons of energy.
Grainberry cereal with amazing onyx sorghum is a delicious way to keep your family's health goals on track, with more antioxidants than any fruit, vegetable, or cereal.
I'm Peter Harris for Grainberry Cereals. Grainberry with amazing onyx sorghum starts with lower sugar than other cereals. Then we use only whole grains to help slow sugar absorption, making it great for managing diabetes and prediabetes. Whatever your health goals are, find it in a bowl of Grainberry cereal. Pick up a box today.
Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family.
When he's not talking about it, he's tweeting about it.
Do you Twitter?
Follow the Troubleshooter at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of Denver's talk station on Twitter.
Just give me your Twitter and I'll follow you.
Find us right now at 630 KHOW. Afternoons 2 to 4. It's Leland Conway.
Shortened show tomorrow, but it'll be impactful. Join me for a shotgun start at 3:30-ish after CU women's basketball on 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. And I want to say I have a new sponsor I want to welcome, Empower Reverse Mortgage. Let me just explain something. Do you ever notice when we advertise certain things that we love, like public adjusters? And why do we advertise public adjusters? Because they help people get through their insurance claims and make sure their insurance companies come through for them. Well, with reverse loans, I'm not recommending reverse loans for everyone, but what I am saying is they are good when done right. They are good for certain people. We've had situations on this show where we recommended them to save someone's home, property, pay off debt, whatever they needed with a reverse loan. It's a way to tap your equity without paying tax on it, ever. And if you just pay your insurance and your taxes, you'll never lose your home. You can even use the reverse loan to do that. You'll never be upside in a reverse loan. And ERM, Empower Reverse Mortgage, I met Mark Massey and started interviewing because I'm very particular on who gets on this show. And as you know, we only have a few reverse lenders that we fully endorse, and I'm welcoming Mark on board. He's a good guy. And a reverse loan is basically one where you're 62 or older, you have equity, and what you do is you get in touch with them, and they will take care of you. They will take care of you. I'm going to give you the number, okay? And here's the deal. 833, they're local, by the way. 833-502-3100. 833-502-3100. It's Empower, E-M, Power. Empower, like empowering you. EmpowerReverse.com. EmpowerReverse.com. Welcome to the show. Now, people, I'd love to get your calls on problems, questions, and complaints at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Please get in sooner than later. It's an abbreviated show for some sports coming up at noon, but I'd like you to get in and talk to us about problems, questions, and complaints. I want to go over also, like I like to do, I like to go over problems that we've had in order to, because when I notice a trend, I want to warn you about it so you don't get caught up in it. And one that we have found a lot of are misunderstandings about estates and what to do with estates and inheritances and taxes and wills and probate and contesting wills and all of that. First, I want to give you some things that will help you. These are pointers that are very important. First and foremost, There is no benefit for parents keeping cash and then giving it to you at death. There's no benefit other than they maybe want to keep you from squandering it. But the only benefit from keeping things in a trust or in the estate until death is when it comes to real estate and things that appreciate. So why is it, Mark, that we want to keep things that appreciate inside the estate or trust until death? Why?
Capital gains.
And tell us how that works. Why do we not want to give it away before we die?
Well, it's the basis. So if your parents bought a house for, say, $100,000, it's now worth $500,000.
That's a $400,000 gain if you sold it.
If you sold it, it'd be a $400,000 gain. One of the biggest mistakes we see are people that actually quit claim it. What happens when you quit claim it to one of your kids or to whomever you want to, they're going to inherit it at that basis.
At the original basis.
The $100,000 basis, and then when they sell it, they're going to pay capital gains on that $400,000.
That's right.
If you do it the proper way and put it inside of a trust
or estate
or an estate, what would happen then is when you sell it, it would actually be at the current market value.
At the date of death.
At the day of death. So say $500,000. Now if you sell it, your basis is $500,000. Even though you make $400,000, you don't pay any taxes on it.
Right. That's right. So you want to keep appreciating assets in a trust, or you want to keep appreciating assets in an estate until death, because then they get a stepped-up basis. Now, when it comes to cash, there's no reason to do that.
Well, milestones, and what I mean by that, Tom, is like one of our trusts is set up, or our trust is set up, when our kids hit certain milestones, if we pass away, of course, when they're 30, something comes to them. When they're 40, something comes to them.
Or some parents do, if you get a job making this much, I'll match your salary, which encourages kids.
Or we'll pay for college, we'll pay for other things, but you're not going to party on the money.
Yes.
Let's face it, all of us in our 30s, and especially 20s, don't know how to handle money like we do when you get up into your 30s, 40s, and 50s.
That's right. And also, when you're in your 20s and 30s, mortality is just a rumor. And really, it is. It's just a vicious rumor, and old age is a vicious rumor. It'll never happen. I remember a financial planner saying, if you do this plan, you won't have access to the money till you're 59 and a half. And I thought, now I'm 68. I thought to myself, well, I'm just basically throwing that money away. I'll never get it. I mean, it was so far off. You never think of it actually being there someday.
We taught our children very early. Miles has a 401k with his employer, and then Addie, because she's a part-time employee and a full-time student, we still have a Roth for her that we make her pack money away, and they're starting to actually see that grow over the few years.
Now, a Roth is where you put it away with tax. It's after-tax money, but it grows tax-free.
Yep.
If you use it for anything, it's tax-free.
It's tax-free when you pull it out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Even the growth, right?
Even the growth.
Okay, that's different. The 529 is the one you must use on education.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem with a Roth, a traditional Roth, is a lot of people won't qualify to have one if you make over,
But your kids can.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's really a good idea. So, as we were saying, what about cash? There are so many people who believe you can't leave cash to your kids, and it must be under $14,000 or they pay tax. It is the number one most misunderstood law there is everywhere. The truth is, you can give your kids a gift of $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, and they don't pay a penny in taxes. Not a penny. Not one penny. Now, why did you think anything over $14,000 is taxed? Because it's a myth. It's a mistake. It's wrong. Here's how it works. We are all given, depending on the year or the decade, depends on what law is in effect. Right now, I believe it's 16 million, or it might be 11.5. I forget.
Last year it was 11.7. This year it's 12.06.
When does it go back down again? What year? It goes way down. some year in the future here.
I don't know.
Okay, but here's the deal. Right now it's 11.5, Mark. 11.5.
Right now it's 12.06.
Okay.
A little over 12.
So your lifetime exemption is $12 million. That means you can give away, or your estate can give away, anytime, death or while you're alive, up to that amount for your entire life. And you only pay tax over that. Inheritance tax over that amount.
The receiver.
Yes, over that amount. So if you gave your kids $1 million a year, and then when you die you have less than that, that's a good thing if they can manage the money. But remember this, it goes against your lifetime exemption. So the only complication, the only disadvantage to giving a gift over $14,000, or it might be 15 now, whatever it is, when you go over the yearly allowable or the yearly allowance, it counts against your lifetime limit. So if you gave away $24,000, 14 would be zero, invisible, but that other 14 to one person would go against your lifetime limit.
It's basically an annual exclusion. This year,
from the basis.
This year it's $16,000.
Okay.
So your example was perfect.
So if you give $20,000 to some one person, 16 is just invisible to the government, but the other 4, you don't pay tax on it. It simply goes against that $12 million. Now, how many people believe that? So few people believe that. I had an argument with a woman who wanted to give their kids $100,000 and said she couldn't. She was wrong. I've even had attorneys get it wrong. 303-713-TALK. More coming up. If you have any questions on anything, we're not just talking estates, but that's something that came up the last few days. We always seem to get Blake Harris on to answer those questions. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. 833-ASK-BLAKE. This is the kind of thing you can call and ask him, and he'll just do it. 833-ASK-BLAKE. He'll answer the questions, and he only charges you for what he does. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Try to do is make up, so don't put those in. Say your choice. Like I just did Blake Harris, and I did Empower Reverse.
I'm excited.
So if we have more than one.
I have a bunch of follow-ups. You go nuts, man. I'm just going to type what I see on the screen, and I respond.
Then you trust me.
We're not getting the radio.
I have a bunch of follow-ups.
Oh, excellent.
We're not getting radio.
I got these guys. You see that move?
Well, I hear them. They're mine.
Get started at orchard.com.
All right, you heard. You heard me talk about insurance adjusters and why we need them. So let me point out a specific group of insurance adjusters, easy to remember, with an easy phone number. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. Now, let me say something. You need public adjusters. Don't ever depend on your insurance company or their adjusters to give you a fair shake. With the fires recently, the direct damage and all of the surrounding damage of smoke, soot, ash, all of that, and all of the other claims, water, wind, ice, hail, whatever it is, don't ever trust your insurance company. They will look at your insurance claim free of charge and give you an honest-to-God opinion of what they think it's worth. And they'll only charge a percentage of what they collect over what you could get on your own or from the very beginning, depending on how you want to do it. But call them first. 720-715-0000. 720-715-zeros. The website, coclaims.com. Sheridan Auto Tech. Now, that's a place that has everything you want in an auto repair facility. I recommend Kevin and his team all the time because of their convenience in 2 locations. That's one of the things you want, convenience. But what else do you want? You want longevity. They've been in business 20 years. You want honesty, experience, knowledge, and value. All of that at SheridanAutoTech.com. Major or minor repairs, electrical issues, maintenance, SheridanAutotech.com, 303-455-7242. Genesis Total Exteriors, the people you want, Genesis. Now, Genesis Total Exteriors is there for you inside and out. Roofing, gutter, siding, windows, fences, decks, outbuildings, or basements, kitchens, baths, pop tops, whatever you want, Genesis Total Exteriors you can trust. And they're also great for insurance damage because they can put everything on one invoice. You deal with one source. They can deal with your public adjuster or your insurance company. GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Your car is worth more right now than any time in the past, and that's pretty exciting. Trade in, trade up, trade down, whatever your needs are, the Sharpest Rides in Englewood, they are going to give you the best offer hands down. And the Sharpest Rides is so easy to get to, just located minutes from I-25 in Santa Fe. And with the best appraisals in town from their trained buyers, you know you'll always be taken care of and get the best deals at the Sharpest Rides. I'm telling you, if you're looking to trade in, go to the Sharpest Rides, best customer service in town. Get more info at thesharpestrides.com.
If you're like most Americans, you're pretty much in disbelief with what's going on in the world. As we all know, global problems are having local consequences. Too many of them. And if the peanut butter really hits the fan, are you ready? Grocery store supply chains are only as strong as their weakest link. Don't wait for them to break. Now's the time to secure emergency food for everyone in your family. My Patriot Supply is America's largest preparedness company. Our specially packaged and delicious food stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage. It'll be there when you need it. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and pick up several emergency food kits. There are a dozen different sizes that average over 2,000 calories per day. Our food kits will ship quickly and discreetly to your door. Having food storage in your home beats government food lines hands down. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today and prepare for what's coming. mypatriotsupply.com.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
It is going to be warm and sunny once again for your Wednesday. Temperatures right around 70 degrees for today. We'll hold on to those 70s through Thursday and Friday before a big change up in time for the weekend. I'm Fox 31 Fifth-Point Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burst.
If you're a valued customer, you deserve a simple gesture of appreciation from your credit card company. And that's why Discover matches all of the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com.
Denver's talk station. Online at khow.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Michelle, you have a question on inheritance. I'm Tom Martino. And anyone, if you get through, we're going to answer your questions, problems, complaints, get involved. Deputy Duck has a bunch of follows we'll get to. 303-713-TALK. Hey, Michelle, what is your question?
So my husband and I are going through estate planning right now. We haven't completed it. We have a dilemma because we have 3 children. One of our children, we will inherit my husband's portion of a business that he owns.
Okay.
Because he works there, and we have 2 daughters that we want to give the equivalent value to them.
Sure.
In
other things?
Yes.
Okay, because here's what some parents do with a business. They might leave it all to one, but then what they do is value the business at the time of death, and then what they do is they have a preset estimator or whatever, and then they cut it. If they have 3 kids and one is getting the business, that one getting the business must pay 2/3 to the other kids over a certain period of time. I'm just saying that's one way of doing it, just in case there aren't enough other assets to go around. Keep going.
So there are significant other assets to go around, and some of those assets are not included in the estate plan because our attorney has said that things like 401ks and brokerage accounts and profit share can be our direct beneficiary.
Yeah, they are.
Accounts.
They are, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the direct beneficiary could be the actual trust.
Well, I understand, but he's just saying, why complicate things? What you do is name whatever child you want to benefit it, to have it. I understand what he's saying. By the way, is that attorney an estate planning attorney?
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
And so he said that was not a reasonable way of having inheritance for the children because that would have a high...
Hold on, you cut out. That would...
as his wife, I would have being the direct beneficiary, but if we named one of the kids, that it would be about a 40% hit. So that did not
hold on. Name the kids in what would be a 40% hit? You cut out.
So if they were to inherit via
401k,
401k, brokerage, accounts,
okay.
etc.
No matter how you leave a 401k or a qualified plan of any kind, a qualified plan, there will be taxes paid, but not inheritance taxes. The taxes paid, I shouldn't say not inheritance tax. If it was more than $16 million, there would be inheritance. But let's just say a normal qualified plan under $16 million, if you were to leave it, the taxes that would be paid by the heir are exactly the same taxes that would be paid by the person with the 401k, meaning all of the tax-free earnings and tax-free growth would be taxed, but not, basically the taxes that weren't paid. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're not going to get around that, no matter what you do.
So, I have not heard a reasonable other solution.
There is none.
What you just suggested is that the inheriting child, and so my son, pay the daughters, and because of the structure of the business, that's not applicable.
Okay, so you're saying, wait a minute, if we leave the 401ks or the pensions or the qualified plans, our daughters are going to have to pay tax on that, where our son is not going to have to pay tax on the business. You're absolutely right. So here's what, but the son will pay tax on the income of the business and everything else. But the way you equalize that, if it matters, and by the way, there is no law that says you have to equalize anything, just so you know. You can do whatever you want.
We want to.
Okay. So if the daughters are going to get the qualified plans, you net them out. What you say is, if they're going to have to pay tax, so they're not really getting $100,000, they're getting $75,000 each, because each one is getting $100,000, but they have to pay taxes of $25,000. You net it out, and that's how you equalize it. You don't count the tax as part of their inheritance.
We're trying to avoid that,
but you're not going to.
Plenty of other assets.
Michelle, okay. But what I'm saying is, no matter what you do with a qualified plan, once you put money away that is tax deductible, and once you have tax-free growth, everyone is going to pay tax anywhere, even if it's left to a trust. The government will always go and get back the tax they should have gotten, except in one. There's one circumstance which is too complicated to explain. Well, I can explain it. If you did become the banker or any overfunded life insurance plan, and it grew tax-free, and that's what the cash value does, and then there's a death, there's a payout, and there's no tax on that. That's an inheritance, but that's a whole different animal.
Right. In our personal situation, it doesn't make any sense, according to the attorney, when he would leave it to me instead, and because I don't have income like my working daughters would, the tax implication would be different.
It would be less, presumably less, yes, yeah. But there would be tax.
So I'm just trying to figure out, are there there seems to be no middle ground, other solutions besides.
You know, we're going to get Blake Harris on.
With life insurance.
Let's get Blake Harris on to talk about it. Life insurance proceeds are not taxable. You don't have to worry about that. That's because they weren't purchased with tax-free money. So here's the deal. I want to get Blake Harris on. Suze, let's try to get him on. And we may have to call you back, or you can hold on. And we'll get, maybe he knows of his, he might have a secret way of doing it. I'm serious. He may have a way of doing it.
All right, you guys.
You know what I don't understand, Tom? She's probably paying this guy $300 or $400 an hour. Why doesn't she ask him these questions?
No, I'm trying to tell you.
He told her. He
All
told
right.
her the answer. She just doesn't like the answer.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's see. But other attorneys, you know, here's how it is. You have an attorney.
Direction. Things look good across I-70 from.
The accountant says, what do the numbers show? The attorney says, what do you want it to say?
No, not down.
Isn't that the way it is?
Absolutely.
You heard that, right?
It's 62. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Real credit card questions require real people. Someone who understands your issues and works to resolve them with you. That's why Discover offers helpful, U.S.-based representatives. Available 24/7. Discover. Exceptionally common sense.
You know, we just talked about overfunding life insurance. Let me make this clear. If the life insurance is not the purpose of this plan, the purpose is to overfund it on purpose. You pay more than the premium on purpose because that extra money goes into an account for you that's payable on death, or it grows tax-free and payable on death. And if you use it through your life, you borrow it so there's no tax. You pay it back with interest so you shelter more money. The idea is to keep that in an account until you retire, then borrow it the rest of your life. No income tax on it ever, and it really is a cool plan. BecomeTheBanker.org for more information. Now let's talk about other legal stuff like personal injury. What I love about John Fuller basically is free legal advice. Let's just say what it is. John Fuller has a small law firm on purpose. Don't mistake small for ineffective. In fact, more effective for you, because you're not a number. You're a person. He gives you his cell phone number. He talks to you whenever he needs to. You can talk to him whenever you need to. And in the beginning, you can be fully comfortable by asking questions. Where to collect, how to collect, if it's worth collecting, how much is it worth, what should you do from here. John Fuller will be straight, transparent. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. Personalinjuryco.com. And another attorney that I hope you don't need, like I hope you don't need John Fuller for that personal injury. If you do, you won't do better. And I hope you don't need Joe Lazzara for DUIs and other crimes. But Joe is someone we've screened and vetted and known for many, many years, and he's helped many clients. So please don't shop for an attorney like this when you're under pressure. You'll make really dumb decisions. I've done the shopping for you. Joe Lazzara. Keep the name. Hope you never need it. You may want to pass it on or refer somebody. Joseph A. Lazzara. You can find him at referralist.com. 303-429-6200. That's 303-429-6200. Free initial consultations and flat rate pricing. 303-429-6200.
Are you guys not listening? We are genning the audio, so you're going to bounce a little bit today.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
Okay.
I need Indeed. Indeed you do. InstaVet instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes and speed matches contact job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I should have had Done Right do it. Don't be that person that says this after ordering your remodeling project. Hi folks, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. Simply put, we make people happy by being particular, just like you. 800-362-8370.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. When my listeners need advice on mortgages, I call.
I want to run down and get more ghetto juice.
We got Coke in the...
Why you call it ghetto juice? All I see is whiz bangers. Why you call it ghetto juice? What you call it ghetto juice?
Oh, that monster.
They were completely out of water. Completely out of Mountain Dew.
Definitely.
That's just to do is the...
Yeah, just to do.
They're out of there. Diet Mountain Dew.
Small fucking gangbang.
Who's drinking Diet Mountain Dew?
They want to droop their pants. They got to lose weight. They find the
Y'all are so deep.
They're buying the Diet Dew.
Yeah. But wait till you
scooping up the Diet Dew.
Diet done.
Hey, if any of you guys didn't watch Snowfall?
No. Hey, have you ever watched Bosch?
Oh.
Hey, you like Detective?
Yeah, I've seen Bosch.
Oh, fuck, that's good. Mark, Bosch is good.
You haven't watched Snowfall, Mark?
What is it about?
I think there's a third or fourth season. It's about remember in the 80s when it came up that the U.S. government was selling coke to get money to...
Yeah, the Contras?
Yeah. This is a story about how that it's semi-fictionalized, about a kid who grows up in the ghetto to become the kingpin of the coke trade. It's great. It's called Snowfall.
And he had the backing of the U.S. government.
Yeah, but you got to watch it. It's a great series. And if you can, I think this is the third or fourth season now, but it's really fantastic.
Didn't they, isn't that why they killed whatchamacallit to keep him from talking?
Who's that?
Was it Noriega?
Or
Or is that the wrong country?
No, Noriega was,
but one of those guys they got because he was going to blow the wide open. They were in order to finance the arms, they were selling coke.
Right.
Fucking government, Mark.
No. You got to watch Snowfall.
Now, by the way, don't tell me I haven't caught up. The last 1883 I saw was when her boyfriend was killed.
Fuck, that's a good show.
But you like San Elliott.
It's almost over.
I can't catch. I don't have Paramount Plus.
I can't believe that's the two countries. I can't believe the...
Don't tell me what happened.
No, they're husband and wife.
I know. Oh, yeah, in real life. I saw the boyfriend get killed, and then she killed the guy.
Which boyfriend? The first one?
Oh, shit, Mark, shut up. I like that woman, that blonde. She's a cutie, and she's a tough ass. Now, is little John, is that little cute boy, is he the grandfather of...
I don't think so. We were trying to do the math.
The grandfather. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to Blake Harrislaw. Hey, Blake, thank you for being here always when we need you for inheritance questions and estate planning. Michelle, they're leaving their son the family biz, and they want to help the daughters out.
Business was started by their grandfather.
Oh, I got it. I don't need to know that.
My husband and his sister inherit her kids to the other 50.
I get Michelle. Okay, fine. But basically, they're giving the son whatever they have in the family biz, and that's going to amount to a certain amount. They want to treat the girls, the other two kids, equally, so they want to leave them some stuff. What they're coming across is this, Blake. They have some qualified plans, and they were told, well, if you leave a qualified plan to your kids, they're going to end up paying the tax and recapturing that tax you didn't pay. Now, Blake, is there any way to get around that when you have a qualified plan?
When you have a qualified plan, we're talking like an IRA or 401k?
That's right, or a pension, right. When you didn't pay tax on the gain and you deducted the money going in, is there a way to get out ever of paying income tax when you leave it to someone?
So you have 10 years to make distributions from that plan. It was a law that passed about a year and a half ago.
What does that mean, Blake? What does that look like?
So you have 10 years to take all the money out of an inherited IRA or an inherited 401k. It does not need to be evenly distributed. It can be 0, 0, 0 for the first 9 years, and then you can take it all out at the end of the 10th year. After 10 years on it, but you can delay it until the end of the 10 years.
All right, but when you do take it out as an heir, you pay tax.
Correct.
Do you pay a recapture of what should have been paid, or do you pay an ordinary income tax? How is that calculated?
I believe, I'm not 100%, but I believe it's just ordinary income taxes that you have to pay on it.
Okay.
I don't think there's any penalty as long as you're not.
No, that's right. There's no penalty because it was left to you. And Michelle,
Right.
Michelle, is that a better answer that they have 10 years to do it?
No, but is a brokerage accounts the same as qualified plans? Or
No.
would it be different with brokerage accounts?
A brokerage account is just you mean your investment portfolio?
Yes.
That's just like a bank account, but you invest it, right? That's money you just put in there, right?
Yeah, you already paid tax on that money. That's
Michelle, that money you already paid tax on. When that's inherited, if that year they inherit it, there were some sales of stock made or some gains, they would get an ordinary 1099, the estate would, just like if they were alive, if you were alive. So remember, when I say there's no inheritance tax up to $16 million, we're not talking about earned income. We're talking about inherited money and inherited assets or stuff you sell at date of death basis where there's no profit. But if there is income tax due because of growth in an account, Blake, that is still paid, right?
Yes.
But that's a small percentage of the tax compared to the actual value of the brokerage account as a whole.
Well, in other words, what you're saying is they will net a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I mean,
so is that a possibility as opposed to the qualified plans?
Well, that's up to you. You're interested in equality or equity, so you have to do the math. The business that the son is getting is worth X. What is this plan worth? You're trying to figure out what to leave the girls that will equalize the business. That's up to you and your valuations.
And have them not pay exorbitant taxes on it. So that's the idea behind it.
Well, there are no exorbitant taxes, thank God. Not yet. There might be. I mean, did you listen to the speech last night? But here's the deal. Right now, there aren't exorbitant inheritance taxes, but you're not talking about inheritance taxes. You're talking about ordinary income taxes. And by the way, your son's going to have income taxes on the business, not from the inheritance of it, but from the operation of it.
Well, he'll be running it. He works.
Yeah, okay, good. So I don't know how you reconcile that, Michelle. You're trying to pay the least amount of tax for the stuff you give the daughters, or you want them to pay the least amount of tax. So, Blake, is there a way a trust could take over the brokerage account where the girls only get a certain amount doled out to them when they need it, and they pay minimal tax?
Well, I mean, if it's a brokerage account, then it's not. You don't have the tax. You don't have the same issues that you have with a retirement account. And yes, you can put terms in the trust that says a certain amount is paid out over time.
Michelle, if you liquidate that account, that brokerage account, if they liquidate it, they're not going to pay income tax on the inheritance. They're just going to pay whatever gains were made.
Awesome.
Right, Blake? Is that well said? I mean, they're only going to pay on the gains, right, Blake, when they sell the asset?
Correct. Either they or the trust will pay gains will pay taxes on the gain.
But will they get date of death valuation, or will it go back to the brokerage's origination, or that when they bought the asset? Like let's say the dad dies and his brokerage account goes to the kids. Are the assets valued on the day of death just like a house would be?
Yeah, you get step up on stock market investments as well.
Okay, so you know what, Michelle? That is the best option, because here's what he's saying, Michelle. Presumably, if those equities have gone up in value, the date of death on inheritance is their basis, which means when they sell it to liquidate, they're going to have minimal taxes because they're only paying capital gains, not income.
Awesome. You guys rock. Thank you so much.
And that's, by the way, you know, even though you have an attorney, you can always call Blake, and you may want to switch. And I'm not suggesting you don't have a good attorney. 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. We love him. We use him all the time. And he doesn't charge for those answers, but he has flat rates for everything else quoted up front. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-Blake. Let's keep going. Karen, you have a comment on, I'm not sure, are you commenting on health savings accounts? Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
What is your comment, Karen?
My father passed away recently, and it took me 2 months to find out how that went to beneficiaries. So I kind of wanted to pass that along. If you have an HSA and you pass away, your spouse can inherit that HSA, but your children cannot.
Really?
The HSA, yes, if there's no spouse, then that HSA automatically becomes a non-HSA, and taxes are due immediately upon the same year that the person died.
Yeah, but just the ordinary income.
Yeah, in other words, yeah, that's because he put it, remember, he put it away without paying taxes.
Right.
So there's no new tax paid on it. And that's what a lot of people, they say, Tom, you said there's no inheritance tax, and I had to pay tax when my dad left me XYZ. No, you don't pay inheritance tax on it. You simply pay ordinary tax that hadn't been collected before. So on a bank account, you wouldn't pay any tax. On cash, you wouldn't pay any tax. On assets of day-to-death value, if you sell them, you're not going to pay any tax. But what you're saying is because he put pre-tax money in there and it grew tax-free, and because it wasn't used for medical, now the kids have to pay the tax that would have been due. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's part of it, but the kids cannot use it for medical.
No, I know that. I know. They must liquidate and pay the ordinary tax. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Right, and it took me 2 months to get that answer, so I just kind of wanted to put that out so other people knew.
Thank you. So if a spouse, however, inherits it, you're telling me they can use it for their medical?
Yes, that's correct.
How much was in your dad's HSA?
$14,000.
So you ended up paying about $5,000 in tax, didn't you? Maybe $4,000.
I haven't paid it yet. That'll be coming out with this year for last year's 21 in taxes.
Okay, that is a good note. HSAs are not treated like cash. Good note. That is. It's not a bank account. You pay tax on it because it was put away tax-free.
Now, saying that in other ways, any account where you don't pay tax, you catch up to tax.
If you're traveling on the metro area highways right now, the slowest traffic I'm seeing is on South.
All right, guys.
I
think we got it.
We're just a little sluggish through there. No major delays on I-25 right now.
It's been bouncing around, Mark. Looks like we're at.
Did he have to plug it into different things?
Yeah, we had to find the right thing to plug it in and find the thing to plug it in that wasn't going to have a gas in it. But now we've got it. It looks like.
What do they do when we have a short show down there?
Down where?
Oh, they're off it.
It wouldn't matter.
Yes, those are the cameras I was talking about, Mark.
Real credit card questions require real people. Someone who
I don't think they're
issues
Wi-Fi
and works to resolve them with you. That's why Discover offers helpful U.S.-based representatives. Available 24/7. Discover. Exceptionally common sense.
Frank Duran, the real estate man.com. He'll do free market valuations of your home for the asking. All you have to do is contact him. Of course, he can list your home to sell if you want, but there's no obligation. He is a great guy. You will love him for buying and selling real estate or for a market valuation free of charge. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Zerorez, Denver.com. You gotta love them. I love Zerorez because they clean your carpet with nothing. Let me tell you what I mean by that. They have empowered water, and man, it is incredible stuff. I have a little, it's patented, but I know it's like soft, super soft water, which penetrates, and it's alkaline charge, but there's some other stuff they do to it. No grime, no grease, no soap, no emulsifiers, nothing to harm anything. Your carpets get clean, stay clean longer, and dry faster. I love them. I use them at my house. Zerorez, you feel clean, it smells clean, and right now, 3-room areas, just $99. That's 3-room areas, $99. Zerorez, Denver.com, 303-471-5150. One Clear Choice Garage Doors, the choice I have when I do my garage doors. Whether it's a checkup for $80, they go through all of doors. You're moving to a home, they'll check each and everything, adjust it for safety and cable and hinge bolts, and make sure it's in tip-top shape. And if you need any parts, they have them all. And all of their prices are on their website, oneclearchoicedoors.com.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
Did you know that there's more to mortgage refinance than just a lower rate? Well, it's true. You can also shorten your term. You could drop mortgage insurance, or you could even access some of your home equity as cash. That's what you ought to be doing right now by calling American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans. Michael Brown here, and I want you to call American Financing because several personal friends of
Rock, what's going on, man? Biz down there in the forest.
Oh, it's good. Good. Things are good. One thing you might want to hit on today is you have people coming up to the fires, and they're not doing complete jobs.
You mean on the cleanup?
On the cleanup, yeah.
So they leave, they say they're done, and it's shit.
That, they're not doing the whole house. It's like somebody just called us the other day. They wanted us to do their attic, because that's really the main place where it comes in, because you have the ventilated attic. Smoke was coming in through the attic, spreading off to the house going down. They cleaned up, or supposedly cleaned up to the lower level, and now they want us to come in and do the attic, which makes everything that was done before null and void.
Because you're going to push it right back.
You're going to push it right back down. Unless you do a complete, like an asbestos style, which would like quadruple the cost.
No matter what, they suck all the insulation there, right?
Right, but then it's a fine particle.
Oh, I know.
So I mean, you have to go and you have to get HEPA back. You have to do testing. In order to because the insurance companies want a full meal. I mean, a full clean. So they've made us go through and put our whole work plan through. It's about $100,000 just per house. These houses are pretty big.
Are you overwhelmed with?
Not overwhelmed. No, not overwhelmed.
Matt, he's one of our public adjusters. Got a $3 million commercial cleanup down there. Nothing burned, but it was like a big retail store.
Exactly.
$3 million cleanup. $3 million cleanup.
I should call him.
I just never heard anything like it. $3 million. I mean, I guess if it's a furniture store or something.
Hi, Tom Martino. Don't forget, with all this talk about public adjusters and insurance and all of that, keep in mind 82% of the people are underinsured and will never be able to rebuild. Think about that. Yeah, they were underinsured. Replacement value means replacement value for components up to the dwelling amount. It doesn't mean replacement of your house. You better make sure you're not underinsured. Compass Insurance Group will do a free analysis of your insurance and, in fact, tell you if you're paying too much for what you have or get you better coverage at lower prices, or they'll tell you you have a great deal. 303-996-9000, Compass Insurance Group. 303-996-9000. All right, let's keep going. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And Taylor. What's going on with you, Taylor? What's happening?
Hey, Taylor. Thanks for... Hey,
Tom. Yes. What's happening with you, Taylor?
Hey, I'm looking for a good tax accountant, someone who really specializes in LLCs.
Well, most accountants know LLCs. Depends on how complicated your LLC is. Tell me about your LLC.
It's pretty simple. I'm an ag pilot, so I crop dust. Oh, cool. And I'm subcontracted through another person.
Okay. And your entity is an LLC?
Correct.
And does your entity own the airplane?
Negative.
Okay.
So to say it's real simple. It's just it's a way of helping to with the self-employment tax that I would be collecting on a 1099.
Well, you're going to, I don't want to get into that, but you're still going to pay self-employment tax depending on how you take it. If you don't take any salary from an LLC and just take dividends, you're going to be popped because you have to take a reasonable salary.
They almost never audit that now, though, but you're technically right, but man, there's no one to do anything.
I know. Let me explain what we're talking about, just so you know, Taylor. When you get income, you pay tax on it. And if you're self-employed, they call it a self-employment tax, but really it's a 15% tax. But I pay a 15% tax on an employee too. They pay 7.5%, and I pay 7.5%. I mean, I pay 7.5%. They pay So it's not the full 15%. But when you're both employer and employee, you pay both the 15%. So it's exactly the same as any other employee. It's just how you split it. You happen to be the owner, you're splitting it with yourself. So what some people do is they try to do what you're doing with an LLC or sub S. What that means is they say, oh, I got an idea. I'll just be a company and take the money, and it won't be payroll, it'll be profit. What the IRS can do, and as Mark said, they're shorthanded, but I'm obligated to tell you what you're doing is wrong, because if you literally claim all profit and no salary, they're going to come in and impute, if they want to, if they audit you, they're going to impute what a reasonable salary would be for an ag pilot and make you pay back payroll taxes on what you should have been taking as salary. I'm serious, okay? Now, I'm not telling you you have to take a salary. I'm not telling you they're going to audit you. I'm just telling you the consequences so you don't later on say, my God, I called Tom for an accountant because I wanted to get an LLC tax return done, and he didn't warn me of this. And also, a good accountant's going to tell you this as well. And not only do you pay the 15% payroll tax, but you're also going to pay for Medicare, and you're going to pay for unemployment. They're going to make you. If they deem you an employee of services. What is a reasonable, like a lot of doctors do these professional corporations, and they want to accumulate wealth in the corporation, and then they pay it out in dividends instead of salary. But the accountant says, okay, doc, you must take at least this amount as income. And he says, I don't want to take that. Well, I'm sorry, you're a doctor. And they say, and there's a little chart here that says doctors make at least this amount. Right, Deputy Doc?
That's what I mean. I had a
sub-S probably, or a professional corp.
Yeah, it was a PC. Yeah, and I had to take a salary.
Yeah, you had to take a salary, but you didn't want to take. You took as little as they allowed.
Exactly, and I have a great accountant for him that will take care of that, who's really up on top of things.
Yeah, and we do too, but here's the deal. Here's the deal, Taylor. I just wanted to tell you that. So if you plan on taking it all as profit, you're going to get in trouble someday when they catch up to you, and they'll go back 7 years. So just want you to know.
Would it be best then just to have it filed, or just to forget the LLC and just have all the profit come in?
No, not necessarily. Now, that's where an accountant can help you. LLCs will limit your liability, but all I'm saying is you have to allot a certain amount. It doesn't have to be that much. Maybe per hour that you fly. You have to allot a certain amount toward a salary and pay tax on it as a salary. The rest of it's taxed as profit. But we will have some recommendations for you. They're on referral list, and we're running out of time, so you can hang. We'll tell you who they are, or Suze can tell you off air.
This is a critical message.
Suze, you want to give him Mallory and Atlas? He's on, yeah.
Yeah, I had to take a salary. You know, it's interesting with the PC, you're responsible for everything when you're a doctor. It doesn't matter. You can't hide anything.
Yeah. Only thing I got to go right down. Move it out of here.
Well, you know, if somebody sues me,
try it. Yeah.
726-0020. No one appreciates the American dream as much as Romanian immigrant Mitch Floria. He arrived with just $300 in his pocket, started Art of Granite, now serves the entire Front Range and mountain communities. A direct stone importer passes wholesale prices on to his customers for all countertops, completed in just 2 weeks, including quartz. Bathroom free when you have the kitchen done, tear out and haul away free. Get a price on the phone.
So, Rock, you're not overwhelmed by people in Boulder getting
Not overwhelmed. We can take on more work.
Really? There are a lot of fly-by-night people just coming in.
Fly-by-night people just, well, I'll do the HVAC and do that too. You know, not everybody takes the holistic approach, or they, you know, the long-term. They're just a lot of turn and burn.
Yeah, I must be like after Hailstorm, all these out-of-town roofers come in and try and do shoddy work, and they leave.
Exactly.
Yeah, we get so many calls about that.
The Ukrainian delegation
need to get this checked.
Come 7 days into an invasion that has killed or wounded hundreds of civilians and shows signs of getting worse. Ukraine has said it would not capitulate to Russian demands, but instead insist on a ceasefire. Nearly 1 million people have fled the country in the Russian bombardment. It's not clear where the talks are taking place or what they might yield.
Ukraine's emergency service estimates 2,000 civilians have died since Russia invaded last week. One day after his State of the Union address, President Biden travels to Wisconsin to tout his infrastructure law. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, President Biden's nominee to the Supreme Court, is on her first day of courtesy calls in the Senate, meeting with Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. This is ABC News. As Russian troops advance deeper into Ukraine, American businesses are finding ways to protest the Kremlin.
Apple has suspended its sales in Russia. Same story for Harley-Davidson and Ford. In this country,
I didn't know Harley-Davidson made anything in Russia. That's odd.
Sales. They're talking sales. They're not shipping.
Oh, okay.
Slowly comes from Latvia.
With my PC, Tom, I had no protection. So if there was a malpractice suit, you can't protect your assets because you are the PC.
Fitbit Ionic model smartwatches after nearly 80 reports of customers getting burned.
Because if you have a regular corporation, you can hide behind the corporate shield. It doesn't apply to professionals.
Fitbit telling customers to immediately stop using the watches and contact the company for a full refund.
ABC's Andy Field.
Fitbit.
Deirdre Bolton, ABC
Are you serious? Who's Fitbit?
I don't know.
What's going on with the
Just said Fitbit.
You can cross it off your list before this
Stop, man. Well, there must be a purpose of new one because I've been wearing this one for years.
Repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home.
Hours.
Download the app or go to Angie.com.
look at
That's
you.
ANGI.com. Get started.
Didn't take a picture yet.
By the way, did you hear some of the Russian soldiers, that's what I read, were piercing their own gas tanks, saying they were shot so they wouldn't have to proceed because they feel bad about it.
It'd be hard not to feel bad.
There's no national impetus for what's going on. It's all personal. And putting sanctions on them guys to stop those oligarchs from spending their money is going to have them actually mad.
Do you think there will be they don't call it mutiny, a coup to get rid of him?
Not until it fucking
Is he really
if they push on him hard enough, yeah. If they push on him,
but does he have a lot of support? I thought most of the support came from the people being hurt. Or is it from the common man?
It's got to be from the oligarchs.
So
people have no
support is strictly from the oligarchs.
And who is
money?
What does oligarch mean?
The rich guy.
Think about that.
This crony.
What is an oligarch?
It's the Russians who, when they went from communism to what they are now, like the people control the gas, the electricity, the TV stations.
Yeah, but they still kind of run. They kind of still run the country.
Yeah, but they control the big industries.
What do you mean when they went from communism? They're still communist.
Well, no,
not technically.
But when the state,
they have an election.
When under
they have one fucking party.
There was a guy that probably could have beat him, but he almost got killed, and now he's in prison.
No, but hold on. There's only one party. When they fight within that party. It's like having a primary.
Right.
They don't have elections like we know them.
Well, they do.
But there's no other party.
I get you, but there's people that would run the country different, but they always end up in prison or dead.
But those are people who are communists as well.
Yeah, but Tom, when the state, under communism, the state owned all of the industries.
I understand.
So the oligarchs are the people who took over those industries as private citizens.
That's where the dough came from.
Right. Like the guy who was the president of last night.
Those awesome finds you get at Goodwill are even awesomer than you realize. Because as a nonprofit, Goodwill uses your purchases to fund job training and more in our neighborhoods. Learn more at goodwill.org.
Man, y'all better not say that out loud.
If you've been hurt in an automobile accident or in any other way and you're wondering, is this what I have to look forward to? Missing work, pain, missing vacations, not being able to do stuff around the house, and who pays?
Stephanie's
John Ford is someone you should
It's
talk
a
to.
federal
He
democratic
takes
state.
the case. It's only payable if he wins, and it's a small percentage of what he's placed. Why should you be the one to suffer? 303-597-4500, 597-4500.
With a laser.
So she was in pain for
Your historical low mortgage rates won't last long. If you're buying a new home, go with a lender you can count on.
Because I haven't had any issues yet. But they say if you live long enough, you will.
You will what?
Have vein issues. You don't have any issues with your legs. Have you had them checked?
What?
Have you ever had them checked?
Well, I have no issues with my leg.
I know.
Some people, man, they get older and those veins are everywhere.
But the pain they have is extraordinary.
Aren't they called varicose?
Yeah. But really, that's a little bit snowmer because it doesn't have to be visible to be bad. They can be bad deep.
I didn't know that.
And then it's leg pain and all that shit you get.
That's called thrombosis, isn't it?
Well, if you have kind of like a blood clotting, but not everyone has blood clotting. They still have problems, though. Blood clotting is real serious. You know, I used to do 2 hours of radio years ago. It's like a walk to the park.
Oh, Forza.
Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. We are discussing all kinds of stuff, and I want to get right to rock. American Restoration. And I say this, Rock, and a lot of people, I get some hate mail. I say, hey, chances are you're going to get a rip-off company when you call or you search for restoration companies. You have a terrible industry, and I don't know, I think I know why, because there is no official designation of a restoration company. You can be a carpet cleaner, you can be a plumber, you can be anybody you want and call yourself restoration. I know that, for example, for HVAC, you have to be licensed and, or an electrician. You have to have a master plumber to be plumber. But to be a restoration company, what the hell do you need? A mop and a bucket? I mean, really, what is required? There is no requirement, no state licensing, right? Hold on, your mic, can you turn it on? Thank you, bro. Go ahead. What's going on, man? Is that me or him? I can't hear him. Can everyone else hear him? If they can hear him, it's fine.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah, great.
You know, there's no state licensing involved.
Yeah.
We at American Restoration 24/7, we go out and we're certified nationally by the IICRC. You know,
what is that?
That's an agency that has seen a lot of the problems go across.
Can we say to people, if you look for that certification?
Oh, indeed. It's on our website.
Okay, I want to put that down. I didn't know that.
Yes.
So it's called what?
The IICRC.
What does that stand for? IICRC.
International. I'm not exactly.
Okay, so I just want to put it down, though, because I want to make sure. I've never heard of it before. The certification. And we'll look it up.
IICRC. And
okay.
It's a very rigorous training, and that it requires annual renewal, continuing education. Once someone is IICRC certified, they're definitely competent.
It's the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration Certification.
Correct.
Shoo. Okay, and that requires a lot of training.
quite a bit of training. They have you even have to go to be a certified a drying technician. They have a special school where you can go and you get special training on how to dry large commercial buildings. You do quite a bit of training.
Okay, good. That's good to know.
And we have that.
All right, but by the way, you said there are a lot of people right now in trouble because they're not getting cleaned properly up in the fire areas. What do you mean?
Well, a lot of people are coming in and they're not doing a comprehensive inspection. They're not seeing what the real problem is. And one person in particular.
Go ahead. What did you find?
They called us up and we went up and they said they cleaned the lower level. And
cleaned it of what? Soot, smoke, all of that?
Smoke damage, so on and so forth.
Right.
We're not sure exactly how well they did the job. But then they were asking us to do the attic, which after we do the attic, which would make everything null and void below that, because you have to be sequential. You have to work from a top-down type of.
Oh, you do?
Oh, indeed, because it's just like, wearing dirty shoes into a house, or you have.
Well, but the cleaning they did have done, was it done correctly?
That we weren't there to question that. They asked us about the attic, and we went through and saw what was wrong with the attic,
right,
and advised them that since the attic wasn't done properly, that could negate any of the work that was done below the attic level, because you have to do a whole cleaning, because there was quite a bit, a lot of houses burned, there was a lot of smoke damage, and just depending on each home or which way the wind was blowing, it varies in between each house, but there was a lot of damage done in a lot of homes.
Okay, so your advice is to check for proper certifications, and can you ask for references? I would.
Oh, indeed. Ask for references. Ask for some pre-testing and post-testing. That can show how well things were done. Ask for a full methodology, a workup of how they're going to approach cleaning the situation. What are their expectations? Because depending on, no one works for free.
Yeah.
So, depending on what you and your insurance company,
right,
and just what your expectations are, we have to work within those expectations, and make sure that you're getting what you're paying for, and that they've done the work that they said they've done. And there's testing. There are cleanup measures that you can have or put in place to make sure that you're getting what you need and what you paid for and what you deserve. And
a lot of people don't pay attention because insurance is paying.
Correct.
But still they get screwed, because if it's not done right, they've just blown the wad on that, and now they don't have money left for insurance, plus they don't have a good job, and they could have health hazards. If you don't clean this stuff up properly, you could have health hazards.
Indeed.
Especially when you're talking about asbestos or mold or stuff like that. Anyway, American Restoration is with us. If you have any questions, I heard this from our public adjuster as well. A lot of people are getting screwed on the cleanups. They're not doing proper cleanups, and they don't even do follow-up testing to see what they've cleaned. And if you did get a cleaning early on, there's a good chance you need a second cleaning because of environmental concerns. So there are a lot of problems coming out of these fires that have just now starting to manifest. Liz, what's going on with you and the car dealership? What's happening? Liz?
What I thought. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's going on?
So I got a car from what I thought was a respectable car dealership.
And who is that respectable dealership? Who is it?
It's Pete Kia.
Well, okay, Pete Kia, let's put it this way. They're a licensed dealership, and I don't know if we've had, Mark, if we had a lot, do they have a Hyundai dealership as well?
I don't know.
Okay, so what?
Are they in the Springs or are they here?
Which one?
I went to the one in Littleton.
Okay, Pete Kia in Littleton.
We haven't had a lot of comments on them at all.
No, I don't think so, but that doesn't mean they're great, or it doesn't mean they're bad. What's going on with them? What did you buy?
The day I got a 2021 Kia Seltos.
Okay, brand new, right?
Like a year old, yeah.
Okay, Kia Seltos?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like a crossover SUV.
Okay. So what's going on with it?
Well, the day I got it, they let me drive it off the lot with a cracked radiator.
Wait. How many miles were on this?
Like 17,000. It was used.
Okay, and what do you mean they let you drive off with a cracked radiator? They didn't know it was cracked. It's still under warranty, right?
Yeah, so I brought it back, and I got this in December, by the way. This is an ongoing issue. I got it in December. I brought it back. They fixed it for me, and then I drove it for about another, I want to say 3 weeks. And I was driving back from the airport, and my car started overheating the whole 9 yards.
What was wrong with it?
But I don't know. I brought it back, and they're just like, yeah, like we looked at it.
When did that one happen? When did that one happen?
February 4th.
Okay, so February 4th, you took it back to them?
Yeah.
And what did they do?
Well, I honestly don't even think they touched and looked at it because my car was, like, I'm going to say it was a mess. And normally what they do is they detail it after they have it into the shop, and they didn't even wash it. It was
So
dirty.
when you picked it up, did you have other problems?
No, it literally was just the overheating issue.
No, what I mean is this. What I mean is this. After that February 4th visit, did you have more overheating?
Yeah, I had overheating just last night.
Was that the first time since you picked it up you had overheating?
No, I had to bring it to another Kia dealership because I didn't want them touching my car.
Well, that's good. And what did the other Kia dealership do?
They got it up to running temp, and they said it was perfectly fine.
And so you just overheated again?
Yeah.
And it's under warranty?
Yeah, I paid for the extended warranty.
And well, you shouldn't have to. Don't they have an automatic warranty for, I thought, 100,000 or 60 at least? You only have 17,000 miles, and it's a 2021.
The bumper to bumper is 60,000.
Yeah, you should not have to pay anything. Why did you buy an extended warranty?
How many miles are on it?
Only 17,000.
That's weird.
I think now it's up to like 21.
It doesn't matter. You have a factory warranty. You shouldn't have to pay for any warranty.
But anyhow, it doesn't matter. It should be covered.
Right. It should be covered and fixed. What you need is to go to a good Kia dealer and get it fixed under warranty. I think you had, okay, you went to Peak. What was the other dealer?
I'd go to Arapahoe Kia.
Yeah. What was the second?
That's the other dealer I took it to. I took it to Arapahoe, and they didn't connect my horn.
Well, okay, but that's a small thing. But when you took it to Arapahoe, did they correct the overheating problem? No, because it happened last night, right?
Right. They said they got it up to running temperature, and I'm like, but did you test drive it? Did you drive it around? They're like, no, we just got it up to running temp. I'm like,
okay, my gosh. Okay, we need to help you out here.
When you say it overheats, what are you talking about? Like red line or what?
My coolant boils.
There's something obviously wrong, but they said...
I have an actual video of last night of my coolant boiling.
Did you show that to the dealer?
I haven't been back there this morning.
I would go back, but what I would do is have our deputy Doc call for you over to Arapahoe Kia, or Mark knows them, talk to the service manager and say, listen, this woman has a video. Would you please give her the time of day? This thing is under warranty.
Get me a copy of that video. Email me that. I'll send it off to somebody I know in the organization that will talk to the service department and get it figured out.
Okay, hold on. Suze will tell you how to email that to us. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Exergent would like you to know about an important...
Okay. This fucking guy, he needs to put his phone number on the front page. Oh my God.
Is this your new sponsor?
Oh wait, he does have it. Sorry.
Trust is an important factor when it comes to heating and air.
And air, especially now, because if you need a new system, you could be stuck waiting due to supply chain issues. So get it checked out now for an incredible price. Cleaned, extremely checked out and adjusted for just $24 from Fix-It 24/7. I'll give you the contact. It's fixmyhome.com. Now, Fix-It will look at that and go through it completely. It's like a refurbishing. It should cost hundreds of dollars. $24 is a special price. They normally charge $39, and of course, that's not their regular price either. That's a special, but $29 is ridiculous. You know, that's like less than coffee in a month. So fixmyhome.com. Check them out and get it done. A company you can trust for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. All right, somebody else you can trust. David Ellis Jewelry. If you're looking to sell your precious metals. I don't say jewelry because it doesn't matter if it's mismatched, tangled mess, an old broken watch, coin collections, whatever it is. You can trust a live local jeweler here in town to write you a check after looking at it. DavidEllisJewelry.com. You can call him or drop by 3rd and Clayton. DavidEllisJewelry.com. You may want to pick something up, but there's certainly no obligation and never any pressure. Precious metals, DavidEllisJewelry.com. 303-322-8779. Don't let that stuff just sit around doing nothing. At least get some cash for it. 303-322-8779. DavidEllisJewelry.com. 3rd and Clayton. Reverse loans have a place in your retirement or in your planning if you do it right. I want you to check out Empower Reverse Mortgage. Now, Mark is behind it. I've met with Mark a few times because I wanted to make absolutely sure he had the servant's heart it takes to do reverse loans, to counsel people properly, and to make sure it's a right fit for them. In some cases, it helps people save their home or do much-needed repairs or simply have a little relaxation in older age. Lump sums, monthly payments, or you could do a line of credit. 62 or older with equity? Call Empower Reverse Mortgage, 833-502-3100. 833-502-3100.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you could cross your project off your to-do list before this ad.
And we'll handle the rest. Sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly. All for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
If you're suffering every day with joint pain, stop and listen. You can get real, lasting relief now with natural bioelectric treatment from QC Kinetics. Hey, Michael Brown, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative solution that can restore and repair damaged tissue. No surgery and no drug. This is the relief you've been hoping for. For your aching hips, knees, shoulder, lower back. The unique protocol at QC Kinetics was created by a doctor with years of study in regenerative restorative medicine. They're treating patients every day in hundreds of clinics nationwide with remarkable success. Life-changing results with zero downtime. It's the new non-surgical and non-invasive way to deal with joint pain. And yes, they're right here, ready to help you right now. So call for a free consultation. Make this spring and summer your best ever with no joint pain holding you back. QC Kinetics right now in Colorado. Call 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. Call today. 303-900-8986.
Everyone loves shopping online. Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell my golf buddies when they buy clubs. Stop searching for coupon codes. Download Capital One Shopping to your computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. Plus, it's free, and you don't even need a Capital One card to use it. That's like hitting a hole-in-one without even trying. Capital One Shopping.
Good afternoon, young lady. Or good morning, anyway.
And now an important message from Exergent.
Critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. On top of that, they have inaccurate information on their labels regarding accuracy. New COVID strains are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters the most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't switch to Exergent because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergent. Learn more at Exergent.com.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
It is going to be warm and sunny once again for your Wednesday. Temperatures right around 70 degrees for today. Well, hold on, there's 70 Thursday and Friday for 60 for that for the weekend. And Fox 31, 6.1 to be meteorologist guided.
If cold candidate calls aren't turning into hot hiring leads, then you need Indeed, because Indeed's powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates, all from one place. Find your next great hire visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Denver's talk station. Online at jhout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. WaterPros.net will get you the best water systems at the lowest prices ever. WaterPros.net, it's that simple. Great quality, low prices, under $1,000 for a water fountain, under $2,000 for whole house systems for water softening or whatever you need. WaterPros.net. So, Rock, I got some emails on restorations. Now, this is a good question. Tom, when do you need a restoration company and not just someone to suck the water out? Because he
said sometimes these carpet companies just come in and take it out of the carpet, and if that's all I have, what do I need a restoration company for? What do you say?
I'd have to check I would check to make sure, like, how much did they remove?
How much damage was there, first of all?
How much damage was
I mean, if it just looks like there's water on the floor, first, where did the water come from? Because you can't just suck sewage out.
No, you cannot. No, there's classifications for different types of waste, and that come through.
And it could contaminate not only the carpet, but the subfloors?
The subfloors, the walls, the entire ventilation system, depending on...
And even if you don't see it, doesn't mean it's not there.
Correct.
So will you assess damages or give estimates?
Oh, indeed, definitely an estimate. We don't get started until we're in line with the owner and the insurance company.
See, that's important because a lot of them feel like they're out of control. They feel like, wait a minute, I just had a disaster. As soon as I call someone, they're going to put down the blower, start charging me, and I'm screwed.
No, we have expectations, and we want to make sure that everyone's happy. You know, we don't want to just start doing things because a lot of times people come in, and that's where we come in mostly second. After somebody's ripped and run and
that's too bad. But you'll go in first if they want you to. Give it a quick assessment. And how long does it take you for that turnaround, that estimate?
Well, first off, we want to get everything settled. A day. You know, some jobs take a little bit more. We want to get the situation stable, make sure everyone's safe.
Okay.
And so once we've gotten everyone to a stasis and a safe situation,
which is minimal, just to get it safe.
Indeed, right, just to get it safe. Then we go through and we make an assessment because there's sometimes previous damage that wasn't even caused by the accident that's going on or the situation that's at hand. So we have to make that, you know, because there could be other situations going on, or did this one problem cause another problem? So we make sure that we get a whole picture of what the homeowner's situation is, and then we make assessments and recommendations based on a thorough assessment prior to starting work.
American Restoration, by the way. Griffin, what is your issue?
Hey Tom, how are you doing?
Good. What's happening, man?
Hey, I got a comment on the Kia thing. Hey, when it went off, obviously they had the used car guys inspect it. Car got sold with a cracked radiator. When they came back and then it left again for overheating, chances are the technician did not bleed the air out of the cooling system. It's a common thing that wannabe techs mess up. So I would tell them definitely look at that and possibly see which tech worked on it, see if they have a history of messing stuff up like that.
That could be a very simple solution. Thank you. That's really good.
Well, yeah, but Tom, the thing is that after they've overheated it, chances are they blew the head gasket as well. So it could have led to much more serious problems. So if she goes in and they say, hey, the problem is that you have a blown head gasket. It's just no. I didn't have a blown head gasket until you guys went ahead and did the radiator and didn't bleed the cooling system properly, and then I blew the head gasket. So that's
I get it.
That's where I go with that. I wanted to ask you, make a complaint about a tow truck company as well.
What happened?
Yeah, so back in November of 2019, this tow truck company backed into the back of my Suburban.
Did you say, wait, did you say 2013?
19.
No, 2019.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2019. Okay. When in 2019?
November.
Okay, so in November of 2019, they backed into you, and what did they do?
They backed into my Suburban, and they knocked out the back window.
Okay, and what's going on now?
Well, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to pay to get it fixed. It's the holidays." I said, "You know what? Crap happens." Okay, and she never. I corresponded with her a couple of times through text. She never followed through, and so I paid to get it replaced myself. The reason I'm bringing it up
How much did you pay?
$250.
Okay.
Yeah, so the reason I brought it up now is that I woke up in a bad mood, and as I'm getting ready for Festivus, I need to go ahead and start my airing of grievances now so I can catch up.
Let's hear it.
Because I messed up a couple. I missed a couple years due to COVID. So now that we can get together, I'm irritated about a number of things. One, Conor McGregor got weird. He lost a couple fights, started getting a little crazy.
Yeah.
Dogecoin or Dogecoin, it tanked. I lost some money there. I'm very unhappy about that. On the plus side, 75% of illnesses disappeared. Now, unfortunately, we got stuck with COVID. This gelato company I like, they went from Sicilian pistachio to Pacific Coast pistachio. I like the Italian one. It doesn't taste any different, but psychologically, it tastes better. And when I think of Pacific Coast, I think of California and how they're Californicating Colorado. I'm very unhappy about it.
I like this guy, man. The airing of grievances. I love it. Keep going.
It has made my house value go up. Another thing. Recently, I interviewed with DeLorean Motor Company. DeLorean Motor Company.
DeLorean?
I didn't want to get back.
DeLorean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so anyway,
DeLorean's out of business. DeLorean hasn't been in business.
No, they have an all-electric coming out.
DeLorean is resurrected.
Right.
Yep. Where are they located?
That's right. So Humboldt, Texas.
Okay.
So listen. So I'm not kidding. I really had a Zoom meeting face-to-face with the owner. You can see it in some YouTube videos. Went really well. I wasn't sure I would have took the job. I have a really good thing going here. But when I told them I didn't want to get vaccinated, they said that's a deal breaker. So I lost out on that opportunity. So I'm unhappy about that.
But hold on, man. You must be happy that the country is doing so well that we heard last night, and we're doing great. We've never done better.
Oh, Tom, I'm thrilled. I'm so happy.
I didn't realize honest to God, I did not realize how great we were doing until I listened.
You know what? It's the blind leading blind.
Okay, so by the way, did you see? Hold on. Did you see the Joker over his shoulder behind him?
Oh, the cackler,
the Joker with that smile pasted on, that plastic smile. Man, it was frightening.
Jack Nicholson's envious.
But anyway, thank you for the airing of grievances. Can we help?
Hey, one more thing.
All right.
One more thing. It's interesting. You notice that Jeffrey Epstein died near the end of 2019.
Yes.
I think it was August, September, and then just a couple months later, we have COVID all over the place. You talk about wag the dog, that's wag the dog.
Oh, come on.
Something happened.
Yeah, I doubt they did COVID just to cover up Jeffrey Epstein's sins. Wow, this guy, he went from, well, they're all his grievances. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna have that as part of this damn show. Anyone can air grievances. You don't even have to want anything but to air a grievance. If you want to do it, it'll be Griffin's day of airing grievances. So Griffin, thank you for that idea. Mark, wouldn't that be a good thing for the show? Just not necessarily saying I want something done.
Festivus Friday.
Well, that's Car Day Friday, so can we have
do both? Come on.
Okay, so I just want to have Festivus anytime they want Festivus. So you call and air your grievances. I love that idea.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6. This is Talk Station KHOW Denver. Now, impact traffic. This report is
Want me
sponsored
to
by
follow us and come back, Tom?
Yeah, for sure. I was just waiting for it.
Yeah.
Yep, they will have an electric car in your area.
You didn't know
that? No, not that cool. You just said it.
MR says 10-4 stock just went up.
You know, the other one that worked good was
DeLorean. They're not going to change the body style. Oh yeah, they are.
Oh, of course. I bet they still have the same doors though.
Yep. Gold.
You know the one that worked out they brought back that was Indian. Whoever jumped in there and bought that brand, man, they killed it. They're fucking selling those things left and right.
Oh, the one that you bought?
Yeah. No, I don't have
credit card questions require real people. Someone who understands your issues.
Indian is a motorcycle company.
Oh, I'm not talking about that. I'm sorry. I thought you meant the Indian electric car.
U.S.-based representatives. Available 24/7. Discover exceptionally common sense.
You know what? Rocky Mountain IV Medics. They are the people I use
once a month at least when I'm feeling down. No, they come regularly. You don't have to have a problem to have them. By the way, IV therapy is the most common therapy there is for everything. No matter what you have wrong, that's a complementary therapy. It helps with dehydration, vitamin deficiency, even shock. It helps with people who really just need a lift, or people with the flu, COVID, and you can have it done in the comfort of your home or office or anywhere you want to meet them, and it's the same price as going to an IV bar. RockyMountainIVMedics.com. What I love is you can text them for same-day appointments, even same-hour appointments, or text or call 720-987-2155, 720-987-2155. And speaking of great medical care, I love Colorado Pain Care. By the way, I use both of these, and it's the God's honest truth. Colorado Pain Care helped me get over some chronic pain. Now, I don't go back for chronic pain. They got me over that. But you know what? Every now and then I do something stupid at the gym, thinking I'm 20, and I get hurt. And I go to Colorado Pain Care, and they fix me up. They can fix you up, too, whether it's chronic or whether it's a one-time or an acute thing. ColoradoPainCare.com. They have multiple locations around Denver, full service with physical therapy, hours from 7 to 7, which I love, you know, because that's convenient, right? And you can get same-day appointments. Call them, 303-GOT-PAIN. Better yet, 303-GOT-PAIN. Better yet, why don't you read about them? ColoradoPainCare.com. Frank Duran, the real estate man, I can't say enough about Frank. I'm telling you straight up, he's the best guy I know, let alone a real estate broker. Put them together. And you have service beyond service. He doesn't hold anyone to a long-term contract. You know, there are people who list a home, and as part of the listing, he cleans the home, he stages the home, and he asks you to have one day. If you change your mind or don't want to sell or you want to switch tactics, he will never hold you to a long-term contract, because that's what a servant he is. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
I should have had done right to it. Don't be that person that says this after.
God, they're trying to fit them all in before all the 4 hours of in before the top of the hour here. Let's see.
You worked your whole career to reach the top of the mountain, but now that you're thinking about retirement, who will help guide you back down the trail? Listen to the Retirement Summit with Summit Wealth Strategies to learn how to prepare. Saturdays at noon on 630 KHOP. Flowline has the deal of the year, a free carrier furnace when you buy a qualifying carrier AC, plus special financing with approved credit and great warranty. Don't wait to replace that old inefficient system. Turn to the experts. Flowline.
I'm sorry that I didn't get back to Tom's office. They were talking to me about revisions in the contract. I'm just going to mail them what I have. Let them add what they think we need. They say they can really help us. But they called me the other day. I haven't gotten back.
I wonder how they're coming along with what's her face.
God, I made an enemy there.
Oh boy. Has she still been reaching out?
No.
I'm Peter Harris with Breaking News. Our grainberry cereals are packed with tons of plant-based fiber and more than...
Do you remember that Griffin guy? He was in studio once. He was like on the cover of a snowboarding magazine or a surfing magazine. Remember that guy?
I remember that part.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a trip.
He's funny.
He was funny as heck, though.
The airing of
Pun intended. Radio here.
Grab a box of cranberry bran flakes, honey nut toasted oats, or delicious cinnamon frosted shredded wheat. You'll love the flavor and make today the day that you truly take control of your health with Grainberry.
Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family.
Michael Brown here for American Financing. You know, we talk a lot about the economy, and you and I both know that we're facing uncertain times. But in the meantime, you might be sitting on a lot of equity in your home. I think it's time you talk to some.
So my whole attitude today has changed because we're doing so great. And he has reduced the deficit more than any president in history. But spent $6 trillion on something else, or how many trillion on the...
Well, everything's going to be free. Child care is going to be free. Health care is going to be free. Rental apartments are going to be free.
Everything he named, not one fucking thing helped me. Not everything he named, not one single thing would have helped me.
But he said that the last 4 years was only to help the top 1%. Nobody did better under Trump, he said, except the top 1%. Do you know there were more? Do you know the incomes of minorities went
highest in history?
Yeah.
Under Trump.
Per capita, the highest ever.
A lot of people got when he did that tax cut too. If you work for a big corporation, a lot of people got checks, literally a bonus check right then and there. Shitload of people.
Yes and no, yes. There's a lot of validity to it. Yes. I'd have to say there's more validity to it. You know, but some people just don't want to be helped.
But to lead, more black businesses closed under Biden.
We almost closed.
Honest to God, they did.
More people died because of Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if he was to blame for that.
Well, he said he was going to stop it.
Hi, Tom Martino.
Frank Duran, the real estate man. Remember, in addition to being a great broker, he does free market valuations of your home. That's really valuable because it's better than an appraisal, and it's better than Zillow. Now, those buyers need that, but you want to know what you're going to get based on the market. Frank Duran can do that based on 27 years. 303-920-1622. Okay, Suze, you have a comment and a question. Go ahead.
Hey, so two things, Tom. Somebody suggested for airing of grievances, Wildcard Wednesday.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Is there something that would... Festivus Friday really has a ring to it, although I like airing of grievances, which would be Wildcard Wednesday. I like that. Yeah, I like that. So,
the next thing, Tom, I had a lady call. I don't know if anyone's heard of this or if you have, because we don't have Verizon anymore, and I don't think you do.
They charge.
Yeah, but apparently if you want to talk to a live person, they charge $10.
If you have Verizon and they charge, I would be so pissed off.
I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true. That's why I wanted to put it out there to see if other people experience that.
Anybody with Verizon tried calls customer service to talk to someone live. And then what would really piss me off is if I paid the $10 and I hear, yeah, can I help you? And they don't understand you, and you have to keep saying it. I can't stand when, I mean, listen, I don't mind people working, and I don't mind accents, actually. But when you say something and they just don't understand you at all, and you have to keep repeating it, and then, oh, God, and then the worst. You finally get it out, and you hear, click. Ah! Anyway, Rock, with American Restoration 24/7, if you had to air a grievance, what would it be? First, industry-related with you, what would it be?
People not doing a complete job.
So you said a lot of your work is going in after bad companies. That's terrible.
Oh, correct. I mean, there's people they take advantage of, especially, older people. Or people who just don't know any better. A lot of people come in and just rip and run, and then they leave a lot behind, and a good portion of our business from the referrals that we get from being on this show, that we need somebody we can trust. And
well, of course, that's what we tout all the time. Deputy Doc, you said you have some follow-ups.
I have some good follow-ups.
Good.
Okay. First of all, Diana called about CC Construction Company. She had a job estimate of $10,000, and she paid $5,000 up front, and she claimed they never came back.
And what was her name?
Her name was Diana Thate, Thate.
Okay, I'm going to look her up. Go ahead. And so what happened?
I spoke to the owner, Chris Scheinhost of CC Construction, and he said that they did $5,000 worth of work, that there were multiple changes to what she wanted, and apparently there was a he said, she said about what should be done and could be done. And he said, look, I did $5,000 worth of work. She wasn't happy with the fact that it took us a little bit longer than we said because of the changes she was making. And
did he sound legit to you?
Yeah. And he said, look, I did $5,000 worth of work. If she wants to come after me, please do it. But I am convinced that we did the right thing, and she fired us just because we were a little bit long. So I think that's...
Now, but he said, though, that she's at least even or better.
Right.
She's going to have to get somebody out there to look at it if she wants us to go further. Because if he says he's done $5,000 worth of work, we can't just arbitrarily say he did.
Well, she just to add to that, she told me she had 10 quotes from 10 different contractors who said to undo what they've done and complete the job, it would take $15,000 additional.
That sucks.
So I think it's just a he said, she said, and it sounds to me like he did $5,000 worth of work. She wasn't happy, and she let him go. So I think that's just something that
I'm trying to find the original call, but you're right. She did make some exaggerated claims.
Yes.
Yes, she did, because okay, here it is. Here it is. CNC Construction and Solutions, LLC, Chris and Ryan Shinehost paid $5,000 on a $15,000 job. They only did 25% of the work. She said 10 other. Does she have those? I would love to see that paperwork from those 10 other companies.
All right, I'll get in touch with her and see.
All right, so what else is going on?
Well, we also had a gentleman who called up about Westminster Commons. And what happened was...
That's where he lives?
There was a fire. There was a fire in his apartment, a small fire, and he was in apartment 310, A310. They moved him to apartment C207 while the apartment was being repaired. He signed a lease for apartment 207 on November 1st.
Was his name Frank?
Yes.
And he was near the elevator?
Yes.
And he wanted to go back to his apartment?
Right. So I spoke to the head honcho over there, and she said their policy is once they move a tenant out and they go through the process of cleaning up the apartment, and he had signed a lease for the second apartment, that their policy is not to move him back, and he can either accept the new apartment, which is exactly the same as his old one.
Except it's not near the elevator.
Except it's not near the elevator, or they will allow him to get out of his lease.
Okay, good. Why did he want to be near the elevator? Is he disabled?
He said he's disabled and he can't walk. But they said, look, we made accommodations for him. We paid for a hotel. We moved him into an apartment that was exactly the same. And our policy is once we move him out and go through the expense of cleaning the apartment and release it, in order to get him back, we would have to then go through the expense of cleaning the second apartment.
All right, we'll take a quick break here. But realcbdtheworks.com. Somebody asked about the eye serum. Yes, it does work. Suze, aren't you using it?
I absolutely love it.
And it's anti-inflammatory. And for eyes, that's important, especially in mornings, if you know what I mean. I'm not talking about Suze personally. I'm just saying in general.
I am, Tom.
But actually, in addition to that, they have all kinds of supplements. They even have equine for horse, and they have, of course, dog stuff. So realcbdtheworks.com, Tom, and the promo code get you 30% off.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by the Ad Council.
Traffic moving along pretty well right now on I-25. Pretty good speeds for you. Just some minor slowing through downtown, but nothing major. That's very usual. 225 in good shape. There is a right lane accident at Alameda westbound at Havana, so watch for that. I-70, some construction slowing westbound at I-225. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Sunny skies today, a high near 70. Tonight's low 34, and then around 70 again for Thursday and Friday before some snow showers move in Friday night through the weekend. Currently, it's 68. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Okay, dads, it's time to do the Cabbage Patch, the Running Man, or something more contemporary, the Floss. Dance like a dad. Learn more at fatherhood.gov. Sponsored by the Ad Council.
Okay, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, that really says it all. They help you not only plan your retirement, but look over everything. And here's what I mean by that. They're not one thing, okay? Not just investments or not just insurance. They are everything, including income taxes. They look at Medicare. They look at supplements. They look at what you're doing for income, what you're doing for equity, what you own, what protections you have in place. They refer you to, like, our people for estate planning, or maybe you might need a reverse line, but they coordinate things. You think about it. You don't have one person to coordinate everything. They'll meet with you as many times as it takes for you to be comfortable with them. Do you know what that means? Without charging. And then, of course, they let you know where the fees are. They're not going to ever do anything without you knowing full information up front. So why don't you call and start a meeting? They'll come to you. You can go to them, or they can do Zoom, 970-663-3211, 970-663-3211. Now, we said it before. We'll say it again. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. You know, our guest today with American Restoration 24/7, they work with public adjusters. There's nothing better to get what you have coming. But here's the deal. You need more than just an insurance company to cover you. You have to make sure you're being treated fairly. That's what Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado will do for you. Free of charge, they'll look at your insurance claim, no matter how big or small. They'll let you know if you can do it on your own or what they can do to help you. They're fully informative, free of charge on all claims, even ones recently closed, because you can reopen them. If you weren't treated fairly, you think you weren't, they collect on contingency. And they almost always get more money than you can ever do on your own. 720-715-0000. 720-715-0000. I love that number. CO Claims, that's for Colorado, coclaims.com. You know, a good part of restoration is cleaning carpets. Now, I'm not talking about just regular carpet cleaning. Of course, regular carpet cleaning, Zerorez does regular, but they can also help. Here's the deal. Sometimes you got to throw the carpet away. But if you want your carpets under normal circumstances to look like new, it's Zerorez, because they don't use soap, they don't use emulsifiers, they don't use any chemicals. They use only water, softened water, which penetrates deep, a proprietary blend, making it alkaline based and also patented, but they have scrubbing techniques that get deep into the fibers. They dry faster, stay clean longer. Zerorez Denver, 3-room areas right now for $99. ZerorezDenver.com, 303-471-5150. I love this. Your carpets feel so good, and they're safe for pets and kids. 303-471-5150.
What's done more to improve
charges if you want to talk to an operator to pay your bill. They have 100 different ways you can pay your bill, but if you want to pay it with a live person, it costs $10. That's the gig.
It's not for support.
No, it's not if you have a problem. It's if you want to pay your bill over the phone
To a live person.
to a live person. I'll tell you, Frontier does the same thing. You want to book your flight to a live person, it costs more.
I had a recording that is so fun that I'm going to play someday.
Is it from your wedding?
No, actually, after.
Is it from your honeymoon? What is it?
It's QuickBooks trying to collect on a past due amount, which was just inadvertent. What happened was they do a pass-through. You can pay your bills on there. No, so I paid for a vendor, but for some reason the transfer from United Bank didn't go through. But it's just a small thing. So I called to pay it because they called to collect it. And I said, okay, let me pay that right now. And they said, you can't. And I said, but you called me to tell me it's past due. So tell me who to call. I can't. I said, you're from collections, and you're calling me now to collect.
Because they want you to put all that information back in the
but you can't tell me
QuickBooks online. That's why. I get it.
They would not let me pay that.
It's fucking silly as hell.
Well, they want you to link your bank account. Is that what you mean? I mean, then I had another, my retirement plan, the administrative fees.
They sent me to collections, and I had Sue's pays every invoice we get. And what's really funny is when she paid it, they put it to I had 2 retirement plans, they sent it to the wrong one. And it's amazing the mistakes that are made. Hi, Tom Martino here. Waterpros.net. Don't forget, the best for the least, meaning the best systems for the lowest price. Waterpros.net for drinking water or softening water. Hey, Debbie's got a Verizon comment. Go ahead, Debbie. Mark looked that up and said they don't charge $10 for talk to support. They charge $10 on top of what you owe if you call to talk to a live person to pay the bill. Is that what you found?
Oh, me? No. Well, they didn't charge me at all when I went to talk to them. But I have a kind of interesting Verizon story. I moved where I'm living now about 2004. It's off-grid, so there's no lines coming in. And I had adequate service from Verizon. About 5 years later or so, it began to decline. So I wrote the board of directors as a little note, because every Verizon store I went into, they go, well, you live in an area with poor service. Well,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and so someone from the board of directors said, well, we can cancel your contract if you want. Well, whatever, that doesn't work where I live. So as time went by, it became from adequate service to poor service to very mediocre service to basically none. And it just, kind of ticks me off because everybody else is poor up here.
Did you ever get a response?
I called customer service, and it was not. Let's just say I have no problem with this, but it was not English as a first language. He could understand what I was saying.
I can't stand
communicated well. That was all fine. But anyway, he says, well, since you've been a customer for so long, because I said my service is really crap, he literally gave me a 4G extender. So I now can sit on my couch when I turn the extender on and have a conversation on my cell phone. So.
Okay, well, that's at least good to know. I mean, Mark, didn't you get an extender?
Yeah, AT&T just sent me another brand new one.
For 5G?
Well, yeah, it does. I think it does 4G and 5G, but the reason they did, and a lot of people, if you have an extender in your house, one of these Wi-Fi deals, 3G's going away, or at least it's going away on the cellular network, so if you don't have it soon, you're cooked.
Thank you for that experience, Debbie. Robbie, what's going on with you?
Well, I made the mistake, first of all, of getting one of those home warranty services.
Yeah, it is a mistake.
That's not why that's not why I'm calling.
All right.
I had them contract somebody to come out and install my dishwasher, or not install my dishwasher, but fix my dishwasher.
Okay.
He came out, said I needed a new motor and a new panel. So I had to wait to get those in the mail. They finally came in. He came out, took the dishwasher out from where it was at. It's an under-the-counter dishwasher. He replaced the motor, did the panel, put it back in, dishwasher working fine. However, he put it in incorrectly. There is an inch gap between where the dishwasher is supposed to be and where the sink is at. And it sticks out because I have an open kitchen. The dishwasher sticks out of the counter on the.
Is that because it's not made for that? Is that because it's not made for the space, or because it was done wrong?
It was done wrong because this same technician came out probably a year ago and worked on the same dishwasher and put the dishwasher back in correctly, and there was no problem.
So is the only problem remaining, then that it must be put back properly?
Yes, but he came out today to put it in correctly and said it's my fault, and that I have to fix the problem before he comes back out.
What is the problem that you have to? What is the problem that he said you have to fix?
He said it's the brace on the side where the dishwasher is pushing it out. because it wasn't put in properly, needs to be fixed. The only way I can fix that is me pull out the dishwasher, put that.
All right, hold on. Suze, let's get her to hang and get her number, please, because we can maybe have someone look at this. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget amrest247.com, 8337-AMREST. Save all your problems for me. What's up?
We're done because of the...
No, 12:30.
Oh, 12:30. Okay, good. Okay, good. Well, it's 12:30? Good.
It's good to know.
No, it is. I thought it was... needed to Deputy Doctor tell me.
It's 2 hours to Colorado Springs, remember?
No, I thought today was 2 hours.
No, tomorrow.
You know,
today and tomorrow is 12:30.
What other professionals insist? My doctor Kevin and his fucking nurse guy. Oh, that's not Kevin. That's Dr. McCamedy. What other fucking profession does that? Come on, Doc.
Well, they work their
Do I say talk show host Tom?
No, but
I'll tell you one thing.
They work their asses off though for that.
Okay, how about lawyer John? No one fucking has. Who else? What other industry? Nurse Jackie?
No, that's him. It's not. I'll tell you. You know, when I make calls,
Doc, come on, Doc. I mean, when you were a doctor, you don't want people calling you by your first name. I'm serious.
Wait, if Mark called up and said, if it's a friend of mine or someone.
I'm saying a patient though, straight up patient. So in Kaiser, you email, his last name is Matamedy. I have no idea how to spell it, but I know his first name is Kevin. So I put Kevin, I had a few questions, and then the response comes from his assistant or nurse saying, that's doctor. He prefers to go by Dr. Matamedy.
You know we still have another half hour?
Yeah, that's not
I just
Okay, and what am I doing with Robbie? Am I sending her to Marty?
No,
or?
no, we're going to talk to her.
Oh.
I didn't know that. So
You know what I found out, Mark?
I was...
when I make my AARP calls, and the only people that want to be called doctor are people that have PhDs, psychologists.
Mm-hmm.
They all want to be called doctor. If I call somebody who's like a medical doctor, they don't make a big deal about being called doctor. But every PhD psychologist wants to be called doctor.
Who was the one? Isn't that Dr. Laura? Wasn't she just a psychologist?
Yeah. Well, look at Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
He had his license taken away.
Well, doctor was his, or is he?
What do you mean? Why do you have it taken away?
Because of some complaints. He
really had a...
Yeah.
What's he?
He's not a licensed psychologist in any state now.
They're going to start up. I think we're going to see, this is getting really bad right now. They're going to be taking these cities, but I think we're going to start seeing a lot of aircraft. They're cooked, man.
Well, except they're shooting them down.
Why doesn't why doesn't NATO send in forces?
Because
nuke.
Wait a minute, you can't. That would escalate it into a world war, Tom.
We need to. That's
no, it wouldn't. It's just Russia against the rest of the world.
Exactly. I tend to agree with Tom. But I have all this military. If we're not
right, that's right.
Wait,
because this guy will nuke some motherfuckers. I don't think Europe would be on board. I think first of all, I don't think NATO would be on board or Europe.
NATO is drawing a line in the sand. If you deem to enter a NATO country, we will unleash full forces NATO.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
There's no such thing. There's just us. Okay. When I was a young man, seriously, when I was a young man, the same thing happened. Like 20 some years ago, somebody invaded it. They invaded Kuwait. Next thing you know, I'm overseas. Why have all this military? That's what we trained for.
That was the best. That fucking war, that Kuwait thing, that was like the best war. It was on TV. It lasted, what?
100 hours.
It was so short, it was unbelievable.
It was 100 hours.
What they call it, shock and awe.
Yeah. And I guarantee you that Putin will not engage a NATO country.
What'd you do over there? How long were you there?
We were there just a short period of time.
Army?
Yeah, with the Army was a grunt.
Were you infantry on the ground?
Yeah, infantry on the ground. And that's what we need to go fight these guys because we can beat them. Why have,
The only thing they're worried about, once again, is I think Europe's more, I think like Germany, France, all these countries that are right the fuck there are afraid, man.
They're afraid. But they are drawing a line in the sand. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I might differ with that. I'm not so sure.
I guarantee you he will never attack a NATO country.
As of right now, I agree.
Because of us. Because of us. No, also because even the neutral countries are against it. Now they want to join the EU and NATO.
So we'll go fight for them.
No, so NATO has 30 countries.
I know, but most of them are fucking.
Yeah, they got us. They got us.
Germany has just increased their military budget. France has done the same.
Maybe the Germans about the only people with the real heart. France, they'll go fight and give up. England, yes.
Fight.
Yeah, France.
England, the UK will fight.
The UK will fight, but they fight. They don't start fighting until they get their butt kicked again. You know, they got to get a real bloody nose first.
I think they will vote Article 5 of the NATO Constitution. There's no doubt in my mind.
Case 31, the U.S. doesn't have any more nuclear bombs.
We were kind of fucking lucky that he didn't do a blitzkrieg into there. He could have wiped that whole motherfucking country out in a matter of a weekend.
That would have been the move. You just roll on in there and just.
You know those guys in the original blitzkrieg? I'm not kidding you. Right from the top command down were on amphetamines, man. They were pumping that. Those motherfuckers stayed up for 72 hours. The Germans. Fighting like crazy, man. Amphetamines, way back then. That was how blitzkrieg went down. Fucking jacked those guys up and said, you're starting here and you're going to finish here. And no one thought they could do it in 3 days. And they fucking stormed all the way.
And the other thing is the Maginot Line was this line of fortresses between Germany and France. The Nazis just went around it.
Yeah.
They said, fuck it, we'll just go around the line. We don't need to go through it.
They blew the fucking shit out of France, man.
The biggest mistake that he made was opening up in front. He could have, attacking Russia was such a dumb move on Hitler's part.
He thought he was right there, though, in his head. He thought he had it, man. He was this close to world dominance in his brain.
I'm going on the air in a minute. I'm off at 12:30.
And China came out today and said, "Hey, we're still trading with Russia. We're not down with these sanctions." I think it's so funny that Russia actually has a vote or a seat at the table to vote on whether or not they should have went into the Ukraine.
Oh, you mean Security Council?
It's fucking comical. Yes, we should. And aren't they a veto vote? Am I correct in that?
They're one of the 5 members of the Security Council.
Yeah. Who let him in the Security Council?
Well, it was after World War II when it was set up.
I got you. That's way the fuck back.
Yeah, and in 1940, they won World War II with us.
He wants a 1918 Russia again. If you listen to his speech,
or at least the 1950s Russia.
Yeah, I think he said 1918 or 1922. How'd they do in World War I?
I don't know.
They weren't in it, were they?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think they were having the Bolshevik Revolution.
I don't know why you said 18 or 22, though. Maybe they own more land at that point.
I think the Russians might have pulled out of World War I before it was concluded.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, so what's going on in your life? We have with us Rock from American Restoration 24/7, and we've been talking about restoration mistakes people make and not getting adequate companies in there to do the right job. And they can be reached when they're not here at 833-7-AM-REST. And I urge you to get the right kind of people to do that work, or you're going to not only have health problems, but insurance problems, and it's just a mess. It's a terrible industry. And if you have any questions, call us. Now, Robbie said she has this company install a dishwasher. Bottom line, it's not fitting properly, and they say it's her fault. Robbie, this particular dishwasher, the one that's not fitting right, did it ever fit right?
Yes.
Okay. And then why did it not fit right? It was installed, and then they moved it. Why did they move it once it was installed?
Well, they came out to repair it because there was it needed a new motor, so they had to pull it out.
Oh, I thought you said you got a new one. I thought you got a new one that they installed.
No.
Okay.
No, because I
get it.
have
I get
home
it.
warranty.
I get it. So they repaired it with a new motor. Did your home warranty cover it?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so you got a new motor in the dishwasher. Dishwasher works, but they couldn't put it back the way it was. And how can they now say it's your fault or something's in the way? If it fit once, what is their explanation for it not fitting again?
They said that it's kind of hard to explain. I've got pictures I can show you, but the left side of the dishwasher is on the side where the dining area is at, and there's supposed to be a wall, so to speak.
A trim panel.
A petition right there.
A trim panel.
Yeah, a panel. Yes. Yes, and they said that was busted. Well, when he came out, it wasn't even in there because we took it out so he could get to it. When he put the dishwasher back in, he bent the support 1x4. He bent that where it sticks out, and I can't put the panel back.
I see. Now I know what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, so when he put
from the sink.
Okay. So what is it going to take to fix?
He said I have to fix it before this is exactly what he said. You have to fix that before I can come back out and fix it.
Well, okay. So what would it take to get that done? I mean, if you took the panel off, is it possible that you bent something when you took the panel off?
Nope. That you can clearly see that the dishwasher is pushing up against that 1x2.
And that 1x2, and that 1x2 was a support beam that he's disturbed.
Yes.
How did he disturb it?
By installing the dishwasher on.
Did he hit it?
When he put in, you know how the dishwashers have a insulation that goes on both sides and the back of the dishwasher as well as the top.
Yes.
That you can clearly see that insulation is all bunched up on the side next to the sink, and so he couldn't push it over further because the insulation was in the way because he didn't put the insulation on correctly.
Okay.
And so
how did that hurt the support structure? How did it bend it?
Because when he was putting the dishwasher back in, it moved the dishwasher over an inch, and so the dishwasher, the inside it, or the exterior of the dishwasher is pressing up against that 1x2.
But that 1x2 was okay. If let's
the
just say
1x2 is fine.
Theoretically, then the thing that's causing it to not fit is the bunched up insulation.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have anyone at that house other than you? I mean, it sounds to me like I could pull that out, straighten the insulation, and put it back. I mean, is this really that much of a problem? Because insulation on a dishwasher, I can see where it could get bunched up, and when he says you have to fix it, I don't even know what he means. But you can't possibly have a serious problem. It just doesn't sound serious. Nothing. You said the 1x2 is fine, so it wasn't bent. What's happening is you're saying
it is bent. I can send you pictures.
Well, send me pictures, okay? Because this is way too much mental damage trying to picture.
Yeah. Text us a quick picture.
Text us a quick picture. We want to look at it. But here's the deal. Robbie, let me just put it to you this way. I'm going to tell you something straight up you're not going to want to hear, okay? There are times that people are wrong, but you're not going to get the solution you want. There are just times like that, okay? And part of the reason is he doesn't know how to fix it, okay? He doesn't want to fix it or take the time. The last thing you want is someone who doesn't want to fix something fixing it, or someone who doesn't know how to fix it fixing it. So what I would do, here's how I would handle it, okay? Are you saying right now if that 1x2 was put back where it was supposed to be, the dishwasher would fit? Is that what you're saying?
if the dishwasher was moved over an inch, then that 1x2 would be fine, and I could put the panel back up.
Then why do you keep saying the 1x2 was moved? It wasn't bent. If you can move the dishwasher into place and that 1x2 can stay where it is and accommodate the trim panel, why are you telling me it was bent?
Because what's making it bent is the dishwasher is pushed up against it and moved it over.
Okay, so if you take the dishwasher out, if you took it out, would that 1x2 go back into place?
I'd have to do some, I'd probably have to replace it because it probably bent the screws.
Then don't tell me there's nothing, then don't say there's nothing wrong with it, because that's what confuses me. I know exactly what happened. That 1x2 support structure was misplaced or disturbed when he tried to force the dishwasher into place. And the reason he had to force it into place is because the insulation made it too thick on one side. So instead of taking it out and adjusting the insulation and sliding it into its space, he tried to force it in, hoping the insulation would just either rip or conform, and instead the 1x2 gave out. Okay, now I agree with you. Now I understand, and I agree it's his fault. The guy was an ape. He went in there and tried to push it into place. So here's what I think has to happen. You have to pull the dishwasher out, because even when you fix that 1x2, if he doesn't fix the insulation, it's still not going to fit. That insulation either has to be removed. You don't really need the damn thing anyway. On that side, remove the insulation or spread it out, whatever it takes. Move it into place, and then replace that 1x2. But I wouldn't let him do it. Okay? You're going to have to do it. So why you're calling us is because you want us to get on their case. It's not to your benefit. They're idiots. So you don't want them to do it. What you want now is someone else to do it, okay? And then you're going to take the bill from someone else. Did you already pay for this job? Did you already pay this guy for that job?
Yes, I did.
Then you're going to sue in small claims court, or we'll try to collect once it's done for that damage plus the reinstallation, because this guy did not do what he was paid for. How much did you pay for this?
$300.
Okay, I would sue for the $300 plus the removal and replacement of that 1x2. Really, I would. But Robbie, I swear to you, wasting our time trying to get this guy to come back, he's not going to do it right. You don't want him doing it. You want to get
I don't want him to come back out. But you've got to understand just one thing, Tom. He has been out, this same technician has been out to my house about a year ago and worked on the same dishwasher, put the same dishwasher back in, no problem, didn't have an issue.
Because the insulation did not bunch up on him. He doesn't know how to deal with problems. So, Robbie, here's the deal. I don't want them to come back out. Do you? Do you want that company to mess with it at all?
No, because it's Sears.
Okay, then why are you calling? Then why are you calling if you don't want them to come back out? To know what to do? I told you. We need to get a good company to do it, and then what you need to do is sue them for the damage and for the $300 refund. That's what you need to do. Can't say it any clearer. I can say it 10 more times if you'd like, but that's what you need to do. I wouldn't want them at my house.
Attorney Joe Cordell, News.
All right, so Mark, tomorrow when we set up,
I'm
going to try
ask her
from in there.
if she wants us, what she wants us to do, because she needs to find another company. Maybe we can find a company that can do it. Maybe
She just needs a handyman to come out and fix it. We have a handyman service on our list. That's all she needs.
BlakeHarrisLaw.com is the place to go for estate planning questions and answers. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Now, what I mean by questions and answers is simply that. When you call, you'll ask what you need in your particular situation, and he'll give you answers free of charge, and then charge flat rates if you hire him to do things. But don't go off half-cocked and make giant mistakes with your estate. Go with someone we know and trust. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE, 833-ASK-BLAKE. If you're looking for floor coverings, it's a simple choice, simplyfloorsinc.com. INC, simplyfloorsinc.com. That's where you make your own appointment. They'll come to you with any floors you're interested in. They have a wide assortment of carpets and all price ranges. They have luxury vinyl tile, and they have hardwoods of all kinds, including veneers, laminates. So what you do is go to Simply Floors Inc., make your appointment, and it's that easy. They have better pricing, better installers, design help available to incorporate your floor, and flooring experts. Simplyfloorsinc.com. Sheridan Auto Tech is a great automobile shop because of what they offer customers, and I don't think any auto repair shop has all of these elements, really, not all of them, and that's why I love Kevin and his team. Now, when I say they have everything you need in an auto repair shop, you want someone who's been established a while. He's been there more than 20 years. And honesty is above all. Experience, but knowledge as well, because you can have experience and still be an idiot. You know, that doesn't mean you learn from it. Kevin has the knowledge. They also have convenience with 2 locations, Colfax and Lakewood, Havana and Aurora, and value. They do electrical issues, minor and major repairs. SheridanAutoTech.com, 303-455-7242. 303-455-7242. Carpets need to be cleaned to stay in warranty, and they should be cleaned to have a healthy alternative to all that dirt, mess, grime, and pathogens. Zerorez Denver, I found, does the best for my carpets. I have them out regularly. Zerorez Denver doesn't use any soaps or no shampoos, nothing. They just use empowered water, which is a patented process, super soft water and other things that get deep into the fibers and clean with the scrubbing techniques that doesn't, of course, abrase the carpet. And what I love about it is they dry quickly and stay clean longer because of no sticky residue. Right now, 3-room area is $99 from a company I've used over and over. They can do just traffic areas. They can do the whole house. And you will feel like you have new carpets. Get their patented process, ZerorezDenver.com, 303-471-5150. 3-room area is $99. 303-471-5150.
Have you still not refinanced your mortgage?
Mark,
well, soon you might be
remember my Cap 1 problem child that I was trying to
Oh,
help?
yeah.
So this is how he ends the email yesterday. I'll say, he says, you're just like Tom, full of yourself, pompous, and thanks for nothing, Suze.
Who was
That's how he ended our
it?
relationship.
Who is
It was, remember the guy who had a Cabela's Cap 1 card 3 or 4 weeks ago, went to close the account, the customer service said it was closed, and he
then
ended
they
up
owed
with a
things.
balance.
Yeah, and I
So-
said, if you owe it, you owe it. If you don't, you don't.
Right. Well, so I ended up trying to help the guy by reaching out to Cap 1, and that's how he ended our
But did
relationship.
he owe the money or not?
Of course he did. Of course he did. Here's the problem. He's like, I want you to request a whole year's worth of statements, blah, blah. Why? If you close the account and they said 0 balance, the charge would end after you closed it in November. Why do you need
It was posted after.
Yeah. And he just...
See, people don't understand that charges are not posted instantly.
Right.
I mean, some are.
Right. Right.
But it
And I
could have
don't
been
think-
anything.
Yeah, it's just funny that that's how he. I know you get used to the insults a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
But it's like telling me, you know, I'm
If I'm not-
pompous and full of myself. I'm like, oh my god.
The truth hurts. This is
I just said best to you.
right.
And deleted it.
I'm the only one that's fucking
Okay.
mild, man.
And also right all the
And Rocky
time.
and I
It's
ain't
amazing.
open our mouth.
I think it's amazing that Mark is never wrong. I mean, it boggles my mind.
First time in the history of
The
the
only thing
world.
he's wrong about is never being wrong.
Is this yours?
It was in that drawer.
Let's keep it in that drawer. Susanna put it.
It was just sitting in there on the bottom.
You think we'll get Aaron Rodgers?
No.
No, why not?
Doesn't look that, because it sounds like he and the Packers are coming to an agreement.
They'd hate to lose.
We always take old.
They'd hate to do a Colts thing, you know, where Manning comes here, wins the Super Bowl, or a Brady thing where he goes to fucking Tampa Bay, wins the Super Bowl. It seems to motivate those older quarterbacks, man. Okay, now I got to win to show these people.
I thought it was a done deal. I thought he was coming already.
I thought he was too, or I was.
So Russia says the homeland will be defended. Nobody's invading the fucking motherland.
No, they're claiming
The Ukrainians and
it's the homeland. Include.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Tom, what's going on with you, Tom? Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. What else? What else? That was a stupid mistake, wasn't it? But hold on. Hold on. There's only one thing protected. That's why I want you to keep going. What else was on there? That's a lot of information. So they had your name, huh?
SSN, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing protected, the only thing they have a do not to disclose is medical information under HIPAA laws. But we all have a mistaken impression that information cannot be shared. Now, it's not supposed to be. Yes, I know that. And it's stupid, and I'm sure they did it by mistake. And a lot of companies have what they call information or privacy policies, and you have to abide by a policy. But if they don't have a policy that they violated, as crazy as this sounds, information is not protected. Our information is, my social security, my address, everything about me, nothing about me is protected. It's not protected. We think it is, but it's not. We hear this thing called the Privacy
Act, and we have a misimpression of what that means. But that doesn't mean they can be reckless, by the way, and if that causes you damage, it doesn't mean they're not liable. I'm telling you they didn't probably violate a law, in other words, just per se.
Oh, no.
Do you know what I'm saying?
So
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's smart, and I'm not saying they can't be held liable. What are the ramifications so far? What's going on now?
So far, they haven't done much. My transportation manager, who is I
mean, have people been really bitching about it? Have people really been mad about it?
Just a few people know so far, because apparently a lot of, warehouse people and that kind of stuff, they didn't know it. What had happened was the lady that forwarded the email, she realized her mistake, and I got 5 emails after that in my junk mail. I didn't find it in my regular email. I found it in my junk mail, where she had recalled those emails. So they got all of those emails back from the company emails, but anybody that has personal emails
shouldn't he freeze his credit, Tom? Shouldn't he freeze his credit after his Social Security was exposed?
I'd do all of that for sure. I would put a credit freeze on with a PIN protection.
Then I can't use it. Yeah, I know. You
can.
Can't use it.
Sure you can.
Really?
Of course you can.
Okay.
And what a freeze does is it freezes it for a designated amount of time. You can go with an app on and unfreeze it if you're applying for something, and then freeze it again.
Okay.
I like that. I mean, now here's, by the way, somebody I knew would text me and say I'm wrong about the Privacy Act. I'm not, by the way. I'm right. The Privacy Act does not protect you. It protects you with federal agencies. That's it. It's not private. It's for federal agencies and how they handle your information, like from the census and all that other stuff. But people, I could take everything I know about you and publish it, and there's nothing you can do about it. Just nothing. Wow. I know. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, it's stupid. And again, people could be liable, but they're not you can't have them arrested for it. That's it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, so, Rock, I want to tell people, when they get in touch with you, do they hear right away? Do you have a response team right away that can get out there?
Right away.
For any kind of property trauma?
You need to have fire, flood, mold.
Okay, and it's 8337-AM-REST, which AM-REST stands for American Restoration 24/7. 8337-AM-REST. Okay, I'm Tom Martino, and you can always reach us 24/7 at 303-MARTINO. That's 303-627-8466. Save all your problems for me.